Some of the stuff I think he developed on his own, and I think some stuff he did learn from her, certain techniques. Like that one he does where like the flash cut where he walks away and they cut.
The humming slash?
Yeah, the humming slash. I think she has that ability, but I haven't really seen too much of her use it. But
Brook was hilarious throughout the chapter, asking to see, I think, 3 different women's panties in the same chapter in like 2 seconds. Like, it's kind of crazy. But the fact that he doesn't let the abuse that she's obviously showing to him like impact how he views her, I think that's cool too.
I think this flashback itself has piqued my interest to the point it's generated questions I didn't think I was going to have during this arc. Or going into it, I didn't think I was going to have either. I thought we were just going to have like the general questions, like what happened to Hesperia. Brook is going to tell us about Shuri's background. And it looks like it's so much more than I could ever have thought it would be.
Brook's hilarious as a kid. I can't with him. Like before I was mentioning, like, has he always been this way? Because at the beginning, I guess because he wasn't around women, we haven't seen this side of him. But it's like he developed this at a very, very young age. The first side of women, he's just asking them this, whatever. And it was so savage. He's like, pretty lady, skip that one. Pretty lady. I was like, wow. He's just one of those kids that don't know how to control what they just speak whatever. He's one of those kids that says whatever's on their mind all the time. And his passion for music is showing to be like, he even sleeping with the guitar. Like I said before, I talked about like how the passion he shows with other people. Like I think the other person who showed to have this passion too was Sanji with cooking, even like cooking for like rats or rodents, you know? Brook, even sleeping with the guy, shows his passion at such a young age. I think a lot of shows showed that with Frankie, Chopper, and Nami with their passion and their other profession. And again, it's looking like I said before, like Brook when he was fighting Ryuma, speak of like why he holds his style so precious to him, and that it was like a disgrace for like Ryuma's shadow to be using it and defeating him that way because it's so dear to his heart. And I kind of alluded to her, Candle, the one that taught him, and it's looking to be so being his squire, and then she's training him right then and there. I don't know if all his techniques are exactly like Candle's. I think she has her own like techniques too. Some of the stuff I think he developed on his own, and I think some stuff he did learn from her, certain techniques. Like that one he does where like the flash cut where he walks away and they cut.
The humming slash?
Yeah, the humming slash. I think she has that ability, but I haven't really seen too much of her use it. But I don't know if he developed his own style like, or doing that one, or she has her own version of it and does it too. But like I just know that he split these techniques being so dear to him.
I did like that Brook gets his speech and etiquette from Miss Candle. I thought that was pretty cool. It's interesting that Shuri and Brook essentially have the same path in terms of their love interest, where it's like, oh, I was a squire for this person and now I'm like interested in them and I wanted to be with them, etc. I wonder, because seemingly Candle's love interest is Ruven. Like, was she his squire at one point? Maybe not, probably not. Brook also reminded me of a young me. Lawrence was just talking about how he seemingly is a kid who just kind of says whatever comes to his mind. That was me too. Used to get me in a lot of trouble. So I definitely related to that. This whole opening part of the chapter was really funny to me. And the fact that Candle is like lecturing Brook on etiquette and being proper and stuff, but Brook's the only person that can get her to get out of her ladylike proper act. Like she's yelling at Brook. Like she's having the Nami fiery tongue, spiky teeth at Brook. And it's like so funny. Like he's causing her to pull herself out of her normal, like nice behavior. I love to see that Brook is still not putting the music on the back burner. Like he's training clearly during the day, but like at night he's falling asleep with the guitar. He's playing this, like it's so key to who he is as a person. Like he'll never let it go.
Yeah.
Like even to the point where you say, oh no, having a uniform will cramp my style as a musician. But at the same time, still valuing what she's doing so much, wanting to be by her side, wanting to become this battle convoy person, basically just for her / Ruven. So I like that element of Brook. He's clearly inspired by these two. And then like Ruven, like he's just like, hey, yeah, take him on as your squire. I wonder if he's doing more periodic check-in because he's not like shown in this like section here for the most part. So I'm wondering how often like they're interacting now. You know, it's a situation where I had to drop my friend off, and now it's like, do they get to interact? Is he just forced to go be the prince or the king even potentially? You know what I mean? I think that's interesting. And then her words about her love life, her affection for Ruven, which, again, we're all assuming it's Ruven, but it's Ruven, right? That she's alluding to here. She's so committed to him because it's not just, oh, this is like the love of her life, the one he wants to be with. She's like, oh, I have to fight and work hard to protect him because he's the royalty. He's the prince. He's this person that I, as the battle convoy person, have to make sure he's safe. Like, this is part of my job and my duty. So Larry was talking about the boa upscale. I really like this as an upscale for her, like using her love for him to motivate her to be stronger. I really like that. Brook was hilarious throughout the chapter, asking to see, I think, 3 different women's panties in the same chapter in like 2 seconds. Like, it's kind of crazy. But the fact that he doesn't let the abuse that she's obviously showing to him like impact how he views her. I think that's cool too. And then him thinking that she could be in love with him was so funny. I thought it was funny. It also, I mean, y'all talk about trauma dump, Seb. Lawrence, I don't know if you remember the two guidance counselors from Boys and Girls Club that I had the biggest crush on. I forget their names. I think one of them was actually Candace. But it reminded me of that. This whole interaction reminded me of that, bro. I was so in love with them two girls. And yes, Rob, they were white. So they were. They were. Bro. I know you're a visual learner. You know? But
Hey, listen, enjoy your life. Bro. Enjoy your life, bro.
But I didn't have much else.
Stupid.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Shock. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive. You can see me like Illuminati. You can see me like Illuminati. But I'm shining so bright, so bright. Don't come and try to share some of this light now. Give me a beat and I control it like a maestro. Ladies on a mission, they be trying to get me wiped up. Shawty, wait a minute, can't tell if I like ya. Gotta make sure you know how to shake it like a bartender. Team with me and they all winners. And you know we ballin' all winners.
Or you both had two takeaways that I was going to say, which is like Brook definitely training with Candle. We got to see like a lot of like similar movements and stuff. So I definitely feel like he took some of Candle's bag as well. And then also what you were saying with Candle's affection to Ruven and like how important that is and what that builds up until like later into the chapter. You guys pretty much hit everything nailed right on the head. So
When we initially got this flashback, I felt like a couple other people. Why? Like, I didn't think it was needed. We just saw Loki versus Emu, and Luffy was on the cusp of coming back and joining that fight. I was like, yo, what the hell? Let's continue this. Didn't get it at first. Now I get it. I think this flashback itself has piqued my interest to the point it's generated questions I didn't think I was going to have during this arc. Or going into it, I didn't think I was going to have either. I thought we were just going to have like the general questions, like what happened to Hesperia. Brook is going to tell us about Shuri's background. And it looks like it's so much more than I could ever have thought it would be. So I think when you look at the focus between Candle and Brook's relationship, it's on the surface. Like, we know that this is extraordinary. The main thing that stood out is like, what don't we know about King Ruven that makes Candle so far out of her league when she's this exceptional? Because we haven't really seen anything from King Ruven, right? We just know that he's a prince. He escapes the kingdom every so often, and he goes and hangs out with an 11-year-old. And then he goes back, and then that's just what he does. When I started to look at her character and see how devoted she was to him and how easily she listened to him, and then her thing at the end where she tells Brook proper etiquette and strength are equally important to each other, it made me think, does King Ruven have proper etiquette and strength that are both equally important, and that's why she favors him so much? Or does this dive into like something she thinks the world should be like? Maybe because she's used to something else. And I think that's going to come into the story later on. But it's like, why does she hold that as such importance? We haven't heard that from King Ruven.
right.
So what's going on there? I think we're going to have a little bit more of a flashback coming in that we didn't know about just yet. I think there's still more flashback to be pushed in. I think the story right now for Oda, he's writing it in so many pieces and he's flipping around in the times of where we're going to receive these pieces. So I really can't wait to see more. Really can't. But I do have something crazy to say in the second part of the chapter. So
Okay.
I hope
too.
you guys like it. Yeah.
Me too. I think
Yo, we might be.
We might be.
We might be, but
We might
okay.
be.
Yeah.